Hey guys! So we are going to be making some DIY bath bombs, and I'm going to be using peppermint essential oil and lavender essential oil. I don't think I'm going to use food coloring this year. I think I'm going to keep them all plain, but I will leave the recipe down below with food coloring as an option if you would like to do that. But these make great gifts. I have used them before in the past. I haven't done them for a couple of years though. I don't think I did them last year. I think I did a hand scrub last year. So I'm gonna show you how I make it. The key is to weigh all of the ingredients, and then when you do add the liquid, is to add a little bit of liquid at a time and to mix really quickly, because you don't want it to fizz now, you want it to fizz later in the bath. And we're going to mix them up tonight, and then we are gonna let them dry overnight. And it depends on how dry they are, but I do set them aside for at least a day, if not two, to let them completely dry out. So I'll show you how I make them. Alright guys, this is where we're going to start adding water and coconut oil, or whatever oil you want to use. So I did add 2 teaspoons of water and 2 teaspoons of coconut oil to the entire batch first. And you want to mix fast, but if you mix too fast, then the powder just goes everywhere, so keep that in mind. But I did have to add more oil and water as I went, but I have this thing about adding too much at a time, because you can't take away, but you can always add. So looking back on it, I probably would have added the oils, the food coloring, the water all together. But as you can see, I'm kind of feeling it and seeing if it's the right consistency, because you want it to be like moist or damp or whatever word you want to use. So you want it to have that consistency where you kind of hold it together and it keeps its shape. Otherwise it's going to completely crumble and fall apart. So I added 2 more teaspoons of coconut oil, and I added 1 more teaspoon of water, and I did 1 drop of the purple food coloring. I did use gel food coloring. I don't think it matters though. And mix that together really well. And you can use a electric mixer once it has enough oil and water in it that it's not just going to blow up in your face and you'll have cornstarch everywhere. But yeah, you can see I'm testing it again, making sure it's mixed really well. And that's the lavender. I did use food coloring this time because I am doing them as gifts, so I wanted them to be able to know which is which, because I am going to do some lavender, some peppermint, and it's just going to help me kind of know which is which as well. I don't think that the spray bottle is necessary to use like while you're adding. I just started with the spray bottle, but it was easier for me to pour from it, or maybe a dropper would be easier, but a little bit at a time, like the way I was doing it, worked really well. And like I said, using the electric mixer was perfect when I was pouring it in from the bottle straight. And I did use 20 drops for each scent. So I did 20 drops of lavender and 20 drops of peppermint in each one. And I do have a silicone muffin pan as well as the silicone molds, and I just used them for looks because I liked the little ridges on the side. It was just really cute. So I went with that. You don't need that, but a silicone mold by itself would be fine. And just make sure that you push really hard into the mold because that's how it's going to dry. And if it's not pushed down all the way, it's going to fall apart. And I do the same with both, and I'm very impressed with how even I measured these out because I definitely eyeballed it. There was a little bit more lavender, but it's okay. It's very close. So it has been 2 days, so these are completely dry. But if it was only 1 day, you can take them out of this outer mold and just let them sit out in the open to dry completely for a night. Look how cute they are. They're so adorable. So yeah, just the way I'm doing it here, just kind of setting them out in the open so air can circulate around them. And whoops. So that broke, but either I didn't push it all the way down or I didn't have enough oil or water to combine. So I think I didn't push it down hard enough. But there they are. If anything completely breaks and crumbles, you can still use that as like bath fizz powder and just scoop it in the bath. So it's not a big deal. Now if they're for me, I just store them in this glass jar. And they just look so cute. I hope you enjoy this recipe, whether it's for you or for somebody else. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.